I wanted to explain how you can create and manage a document using Google Drive. So, of course, this is different than using uh, just say Microsoft Word. So, I'll start off by just clicking on New here. So, I click on New, and there are a whole bunch of options here, specifically when we talk about different kinds of documents. Um, you could make a Google Doc, which is like a Word document, a Google Sheets, which is like a spreadsheet, a Google Slides, which is like a PowerPoint. Um, Now keep in mind that you can put any kind of file that you want onto your Google Drive. Um, but when we talk about using Google Drive specifically for collaboration, which is the main reason why I like to use Google Drive, what's great is that you can be online, so two different people could be online. And it doesn't matter who starts, but one person could start by creating something and then share that with the other person, and then they could then work on it together, and and any changes that they make would be saved instantaneously. So it's a really useful thing, particularly for collaboration. So for this example, I'm going to create a Google Doc. Click on my Google Docs to create one. And we start off with an untitled document. Bring your cursor up to the top, and rename pops up. The option to rename pops up, and you just left click. And I'm going to call this lesson 3. And I'm just going to go ahead and just click. Now you can see the cursor's flashing, and I'm just pretending that I'm collaborating with another teacher here, and I'll just ask a question just to get something on the page here. So maybe I'll ask, what do you think that lesson 3 should be about? I'll just ask that question. And you can see up here already, it just took a second. It says all changes saved in Drive. So I'll hover over this again. So every change that you make is automatically saved in Drive. So another thing that's really nice about using Google Drive and creating documents on your Google Drive is that you don't have to remember to save them because they're saved every few seconds. All right, so I can take this document and I can do whatever I'd like, really. So, but for now, I'm going to download it as a Microsoft Word document so that you can see what happens when I do that. So, download as Microsoft Word, I click on it. Now, I am using a Mac for this demonstration. I just felt like giving another example of how to do this, besides just a regular PC. So rather than having the downloads appear in the left-hand corner here, I've got sort of a downloads place. So I just click on it. Then what you can do is you can double click and it will open up in Microsoft Word. And so now what we have is, you can see we have a Word document, right, that came from what I created on Google Docs. All right, so now I can take this Microsoft Word file and I can save it wherever I want. So to pick the location where you want to save something, you always go into Save As. So I go into Save As, and I'm happy with the name, so I'll just pick my location. This is what it looks like on a Mac when you're saving a document. And I'll just save it into Documents. Save. Okay, now I will close this. Okay, so now this file is on my computer. Okay, so this Word document is saved onto my computer and only onto my computer. So if I make changes to this, it's separate now. Okay, I've taken it off of Google Docs and now I have my own lesson 3 that's mine that I can change. But I'm not going to make any changes to it. Instead, what I'm going to do, I'll just close this and I'll show you how you would find it. Well, you want to look in your recent files. So if I look at my recent files, all right, um, this is the lesson 3 that I created as a Google Doc, right? So I can right click and I'm going to make a copy of it so that you can compare. So I'm going to make a copy of it. Right, so here's my copy of lesson 3. You'll see why I did this later. Okay, so I've got my copy of lesson 3. Now I'm going to click on lesson 3 again. I'm going to right click and I'm going to remove it. So I'm deleting it. So I click remove and it says removed one file. It gives me the option to undo right away if I can undo it within the next few seconds. Okay, no problem. I wanted to do that. So now I go into trash and here it is. So even if you delete something, you can still find it in your trash. However, if I click on this, if I right click, I could bring it back, I could restore it, or I could delete it forever. Now I'm going to delete it forever on purpose. Delete forever. It gives you a warning. It tells you that you can't undo this action. That's fine. Delete forever. It's permanently deleted. Don't worry, that's what I want. So now when we go back to my recent files, only the copy of lesson 3 is there. Okay, and that was done on purpose. Now, however, remember I saved it onto my computer, right? So I'm going to I'm going to upload it. So I clicked on new, I'll just click away, I'll show you again. So I clicked on new, file upload, and I'm already in documents. And so here's my lesson 3. So I can click once and then click choose, right? Or I can double click it. So I'll just click choose. So it's uploading. And so now you can see it's in my recent files. And there is definitely a difference between a Microsoft Word document and a Google Doc. So you can see that the lesson 3 that I got from my computer, you see this big W by it? It's because it's a Microsoft Word document. And then I made a copy before I deleted my Google Doc forever, but you can see that they're not the same kind of file. Okay, so that's important to know. Now, however, I can right click on my lesson 3 that I took from my computer, and I can open it with Google Docs. So watch what happens when I do that. So I open it with Google Docs. Looking. Okay. And so now it keeps the docx file name. That's what happens with Word documents. But I could change that, right? I could rename it. Right? So I'll just delete this, and I'll just call it lesson 3. I'll call it 3 like this, lesson 3. The word 3. Okay. So lesson 3, just so that we can see that that it has changed. And I'll close this. Right, it says last edit was seconds ago, so I don't need to worry about saving it because when I'm on Google Docs, it saves automatically. I close this, and now look at my recent files. Right, now I have that lesson 3 that I just made, that copy of the one before, right, and then the Word document that I brought in, that I uploaded. So I'm going to get rid of this copy, right? So I right click and I remove it. Right. So that's good. Now I could go back and I could permanently delete it. Delete forever. Okay, so that is the basics of managing files on Google Drive. So I'll come back and tell you more about sharing and collaborating.